Hi everyone, I've decided to create a two-part series that could guide you when choosing an immigration attorney. First, we're going to review the 5 most common questions an immigration attorney gets. And in the second video, we'll talk about the 5 questions you should ask any immigration attorney that you interview. My name is Andres Mejer, and I'm an immigration attorney and an immigrant myself. If you're looking for someone who can understand what you're going through, you've come to the right place. I came to the US along with my family back in the 80s, lived here without legal status for a long time. We got scammed, we got ripped off, we had a lot of problems, but finally, we were able to get everything in order and to get our legal status. And that's what motivated me to become a lawyer and help people that are in the situation we once were. So I truly know what you're experiencing, but trust me, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we can work together to find the best solution for you. Let's jump right ahead in our topic today and go with the first of the 5 most common questions I get at almost every consultation. So first is, can I get my work permit or a green card? In the US, you can't just request a work permit. You need to first apply for something, get approved, and then request work authorization. Regarding a green card, there are many ways to get a green card. Each path has a different set of requirements. For example, a marriage-based green card would be different than an asylum petition, but both petitions, if successful, will result in a green card. Let me take this opportunity to explain what a good immigration attorney should be doing for you. The most important part, the strategy, has 3 fundamental questions for every immigration case. This is what I call the 9-5-3 method. First, a good immigration attorney is going to make sure that you qualify for an immigration benefit. 9 principal paths, like a family-based petition, a U visa, or asylum. Most attorneys stop here. They are only concerned, is there enough for them to charge you to work on your case? The rest they will figure out later. And if you are disqualified, it's your problem. Second, a good immigration attorney will evaluate your past to see if there are any one of the 5 key things that could disqualify you. 1, 9 principal paths to legal status. Number 2, 5 things in your past that could disqualify you, like multiple entries, criminal convictions or pending criminal charges, misrepresentations to an immigration official, either in person, at a border, at an airport, or in an application, a denied prior petition, prior orders of removal, or you're presently in removal proceedings. Those are the 5 principal qualifiers. Now, if you have any one of those things, a good immigration attorney then needs to consider the third part. Can we fix it with one of our 3 principal cures? For example, post-conviction relief to change a criminal conviction. Second, waivers for unlawful presence, misrepresentations, or others. There's many waivers, but it's really, 1 is undoing criminal conviction, 2 is asking for forgiveness for something that disqualifies you, and 3rd is a motion to reopen a prior order of removal or to terminate proceedings if you are presently in removal. So, do you have one of the 9 paths to legal status? If so, do one of the 5 disqualifiers affect you? If so, can one of the 3 solutions help you? If we can't answer each one of those 3 questions in a positive manner, then we won't accept you as a client because we can't really help you. So after creating your plan using the 9-5-3 framework, a good immigration attorney will help you implement the plan by order prior immigration documents through FOIA, that's Freedom of Information Act request. Order any criminal documents through background searches, helping you collect your supporting documents, preparing the petition, reviewing each question with you in detail, assembling the package and mailing to the right office with the correct filing fee, answering your questions timely throughout the process, going with you to any interviews or court appearances, and recommending litigation where necessary to hold the government accountable for bad decisions. Hiring a good immigration attorney is about peace of mind. You need to be able to trust your attorney and feel good about your options. So if you want employment authorization or if you want a green card, the best way to do that is to focus on the 9-5-3 method. 9 principal paths to legal status, 5 key things that could disqualify you, and 3 solutions to those problems. Anything less than that could cost you time, money, and your right to stay in the United States. The second question, can you guarantee my result, or what is my chance of success? So again, I get different variations of this question. It's a common question, but it's also a very difficult one to answer because no 2 cases are the same. At Andres Mejer law, we focus on the 953 method. That refers to 9 principal paths to legal status, 5 things in your past that can disqualify you, and 3 ways to fix it that I previously explained. I keep on repeating it because it is so key and so fundamental. Most attorneys only focus on, hey, do you have a path? They're not going to really discuss ways to handle or necessarily ways to fix if you have something that disqualifies you until much later down the process, after you paid thousands and thousands of dollars. At Andres Mejer law, we take this holistic approach and we evaluate all your options at the very beginning. Let me give you an example. Let's take George, Maria, and Orly. Let's assume they both entered the US with a tourist visa, and they are both now married to all 3 are now married to a US citizen. That means they're all applying for a marriage-based green card. So remember, 953 method, 9, the first one is family-based green card marriage application, the same for all 3. Now, George came to the US as a child. In 2012, he applied and was granted DACA. However, he lost his status in 2017 when he was convicted of a DUI and he was put into removal proceedings. So he has 9 paths to legal status. We're talking about the family-based application. Then in his past, he has a criminal conviction and he's in removal. Those are 2 things that disqualify him. Maria came to the US in 2010. She applied for asylum. Unfortunately, her petition was denied. She was referred to immigration court, and when she didn't show up for court, she was ordered removed from the United States. That meant for at least 5 years, she was ineligible to adjust status, but here we are 11 years later. So she has a prior application. She entered legally, but she has an order of removal. George is in removal. Maria has already been ordered removed. Now, Orly came to the United States in 2008 as a tourist after she finished her military service in her home country. She came to the US for 6 months and stayed. In 2018, she married a US citizen. He filed for her green card. She doesn't have any of the disqualifiers other than overstaying her visa, which is easily remedied. In this example, both George and Maria and Orly entered legally, and they are all now looking for a green card based on marriage to a US citizen. What makes the case different is the items in their past that could potentially disqualify them. George is in removal. Either those proceedings need to be terminated or he will have a trial in front of an immigration judge to get his green card. Maria was already ordered removed. That means she either has to reopen her removal proceeding and then she'll be in the same position as George, or she can file for a waiver and then apply for a green card. In comparison, Orly is only looking for a marriage-based green card. She has no other disqualifiers. So her case will be faster, easier, and consequently less expensive than either George or Maria, even though they are all looking for a marriage-based green card. The point is, when you focus on 9 paths for legal status, 5 disqualifiers, and 3 fixes, you can get vastly different paths to a green card with different costs and different chances of success. No 2 cases are the same. What further compounds the analysis is that this process can take years. During that time, judges can retire, the law can change, and your circumstances can change. For example, you might be accused of a crime that could have devastating consequences to your chance of success. When we are meeting you for the first time, we develop your strategy to have your best chance of success, but nobody can guarantee your results. Anybody who does is flat out lying to you. Anybody giving you a percentage chance of success without going through the 953 method is not to be trusted. Next question. How much will my case cost? There are a lot of factors that go into determine how much your path to legal status will cost. Just imagine the example I just gave for Maria, for George, and Orly. Of the 3, Orly is clearly the cheapest and clearly the fastest out of any of them. Now, let's talk about factors that can keep costs down. No prior crimes, no prior denials from immigration, no prior fraud on the government or immigration, no prior captures at the border, no prior deportation proceedings, not presently in removal proceedings, and only filing for one person. All of that keep costs down. Factors that push costs up are criminal convictions, prior denials of immigration petition, suspicion of fraud by immigration due to prior petitions, previously contacted the border by CBP, previously deported by Customs Border Patrol, in removal proceedings, or filing for several family members. Buying immigration services is a lot like buying a cell phone, that there are many options. Take a look at a cell phone. What operation system do you want, Apple or Android? What phone maker do you want, Apple, Samsung, Nokia, Google, Huawei? What color phone do you want, black, white, silver, gold, red? What carrier do you want, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint? What accessory do you want, a case, AirPods, Bluetooth, headsets, Immigration also has a lot of options. We build your plan based on the 953 method we have previously discussed. So do you qualify for a green card? Family-based application, employment-based application, asylum, special immigrant juvenile, VAWA, cancellation of removal. Again, 9 different paths. Then is there something in your past that can disqualify you? Multiple entries, prior denied petitions, criminal charges, removal proceedings. If you do, can we fix that problem with a motion to reopen, a post-conviction relief, or a waiver? Because we focus on those 3 questions, 2 clients who are both filing for their green cards might have very different fees, like Maria versus Orly. Let's look at the legal industry. Most notarios and most attorneys only focused on the first question. Do you qualify for a green card? Most notaries don't even know all of the 9 principal paths. They might only focus on one, family-based application. Unfortunately, that's true for a lot of attorneys. The good attorneys will ask questions regarding the second issue in the 953 method. Does something disqualify you? Most often, that comes up only after you've paid thousands of dollars, and they'll suggest you shouldn't continue with the process because it's not worth the risk. But that's obviously after you've invested time and energy to go down this path. The exceptional attorney will recommend a way to fix the issue that disqualifies you, but only very few will tell you this at a no-cost consultation. You will pay hundreds of dollars to get a few minutes with these attorneys. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but they can charge whatever. I don't care how much they charge. What the important part is, hey, do they go through the 953 method? Most attorneys either don't know about all of these issues or don't bother to do it before you hire them. They would rather accept your money, work on your case, and later drop you as a client or blame you for lying to them. At Andres Mejer Law, we do not work that way. One of our core values is to leave you in a better position than when you entered our world. We believe you need the strategy to come first. We need to figure out how to answer the questions in the 953 method first. Strategy determines how we get your green card. Price. How much are you going to charge me for legal fees? Here's how we determine the cost of your green card. There is an application process that you pay for. The price does vary between the family-based application, employment-based application, VAWA, U-Visa, asylum, special immigrant juvenile, cancellation, removal. Again, each one has a different price point. All of them, however, can result in a green card at some point, some faster than others. So first is, what are we doing for you? Then, do we need to order documents from immigration through the FOIA process? That's 7 different agencies for prior border contacts, deportations, or prior petitions. Do we need to order copies from criminal courts and a background search from the FBI? If there is something that makes you ineligible, we then have to fix it through a waiver, reopening a prior criminal case, reopening a removal order, or refiling for relief. Are you or your relatives in removal proceedings? We then either need to terminate deportation or go to trial. Will the government accuse you of becoming a public charge in the future? We must present your earning capacity very careful to avoid this issue. Are you applying just for yourself, or are you also trying to get a green card for your spouse and kids? Are they all in the United States, or are some outside the United States, or mixed? Some here, some there. Do they also need a waiver? Are you going to have an interview inside the United States? If so, do you want an attorney to prepare you and go with you to the interview? Each one of these has a cost. It's for that reason that my assistants can't give you a price on the phone. It requires the knowledge and experience to figure out what needs to be done and what we charge for each of these services. The actual cost for legal fees for Andres Mejer Law varies greatly from as low as $3,000 to over $30,000, depending on each of the above. Does that price include everything? Nope, it doesn't. There are other costs. After legal fees, the next thing you need to consider is what the government is going to charge to review your documents that you are filing. For each adjustment, the government charges about $1,240. If you are 4 people that are being adjusted, that's almost $5,000 in legal fees. For example, you, your wife, and your 3 kids. For each waiver, the government typically charges $985. Some are more depending on the specific type of waiver. You also likely have the cost to translate any documents you are submitting with your applications. The most common are birth certificates, but sometimes it's newspaper articles, police reports, medical reports that each must be translated by a certified translator. Lastly is the FedEx cost to mail your documents. That can be significant on complicated cases, particularly if there's multiple applications, multiple filings, but it's not likely to be $100, more than $100 for every single filing. It's often anywhere from $25 to $55. But again, you don't need to worry about how much it costs in total because we do offer payment plans. If you pay in a single payment, we give you a discount. Many clients get loans from friends and family to get the discount because it is significant. Some even open new credit cards just to get the discount. If you can't pay in a single payment, we typically offer payment plans of 3, 6, or 9 payments, and those could be every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks, depending on the type of case we're talking about. Again, it all depends on your case. Sometimes your green card has several moving parts, and we can break down your case into stages and charge accordingly. So, contract for step 1, we resolve step 1. It gets filed. Then you contract for step 2, make the payment plan. So we can break it up depending on the type of case. But the more money you bring with you, the higher the possibility of getting a discount on your immigration case when you come to your no-cost consultation. We give your case the priority that you do. The sooner you pay for your case, the sooner it gets filed. We typically need several weeks once we have all the documents, you have answered all our questions, and you have paid in full to file your case. So the more you can bring with you at your consultation, the lower your payment plan will be and the faster your case will be filed. Next question I usually get is, how long will my case take? Every case is unique. What I mean by that is how long a particular case will take can vary on who's applying for you. Is it a U.S. citizen? Is it a lawful permanent resident? Or are you self-petitioning? What are you applying for? A green card, a U visa, asylum, or VAWA? And what local office or immigration court is handling your case? Because they do vary across the country. You certainly will be waiting for the U.S. government longer than you would like. Unfortunately, delays are a fact of life in the immigration field. Just because it is taking a long time, it doesn't mean it was your fault, doesn't mean it was your attorney's fault, or the government's fault. Well, that's not entirely true. It's usually the government's fault. But who's applying? Well, U.S. Citizen Immigration Services reviews applications on a first-come, first-served basis. However, employment-related petitions get to jump the line by paying extra for premium processing. That isn't available for most types of cases. If you are in a category of visa or green card applicant that does not allow unlimited numbers to be given out each year, a certain amount of waiting will be built into the process. That's an immediate relative. For example, if your spouse, who's a U.S. citizen, is filing for you, the moment that the relationship is proved, there will be a visa immediately available. If your spouse is a green card holder, you're going to have to wait for a visa. It won't be automatic. For example, if you're applying for a green card as the married child of a U.S. citizen, then you are in the 3rd preference category of family-sponsored visas and can expect to wait an average of at least 10 years before your priority date is current and a visa number and green card becomes available to you. There is nothing you can do about this except to keep an eye on your progress and advise the National Visa Center if your address changes. What are you applying for? Not all paths to legal status take the same amount of time. You need to consider the type of application you are requesting. Are you looking for a temporary visa for a relative to visit you? Are you filing for asylum in the United States? Because both have dramatically different processing times. Even a marriage-based green card can vary whether you will be applying from inside the U.S. or from outside the U.S. You also need to consider are you in removal proceedings? Do you need a waiver? Do you need to fix a prior criminal conviction? Each of these steps takes time. Often, you must do one first, get a positive outcome before you can go to the next step. So, who's applying? What are you applying for? Where are you applying? USCIS has field offices across the United States, and each applicant is assigned to a field office based on your zip code. Every field office receives a different number of applications, directly impacting its processing speed compared with other offices. different USCIS offices have substantially different waiting times, especially if you compare a less populated area with larger cities such as New York or Los Angeles. USCIS publishes processing wait times for each field office and updates the figures once every month. Other factors that could delay your case. If you move after filing your application with USCIS, you will need to file a change of address with Form AR11. If you move outside the area of your field office, your case will be moved to the new office, which will result in a delay of the processing of your case. Your security check is taking a long time to process. Most immigration applications require you to have your fingerprints or biometrics. Once you attend your appointment, the prints will be sent to the FBI and other security agencies for a check of your criminal and immigration record. This can add weeks or months to the process, particularly if you have a common name or an extensive record. Also, make sure to include your entire name and any prior names you have used, even maiden names. Otherwise, the security check may have to be redone. You don't want to go into the interview and have the officer say, oh, you know what? We didn't check your maiden name. I can't apply. I can't approve your petition. I have to send this back to the FBI. I intend to approve your record as long as your background check doesn't come back with a problem. Well, you may have just lost 3 or 6 months. If you haven't responded or didn't respond accurately to a request for evidence or a notice of intent to deny, even if you think it's a stupid or irrelevant request, responding timely and accurately is crucial to the success of your case. If you ignore the request or respond late, this will at a bare minimum cause a delay in your case, but it could also result in an outright denial. And lastly, the fifth most common question: why didn't the other attorney I met explain that to me? I get this question at least once or twice a day when I'm in a meeting with potential clients. Unfortunately for you, most attorneys and non-attorneys don't take a holistic approach to a consultation. What I mean is that on Andres Mejer law, we use the 953 method that I came up with. It dramatically simplifies the strategic approach to achieving legal status. Most attorneys or non-attorneys only focus on the type of immigration cases that they want to handle. Consider marriage-based green card or a citizenship application. However, there are many other paths to legal status. We look at the 9 principal paths to achieve legal status, which include DACA, TPS, parole in place, or advanced parole as a category. Family-based applications, so that's your parent, your spouse, or your child, or your sibling. Employment-based application. Violence Against Women's Act. It's a family-based, but it's self-petitioning. Asylum, withholding removal, or Convention Against Torture, all under one category. A U visa, S visa, or T visa, all similar situations. Special immigrant juvenile, or you're already a green card holder and you want to file for citizenship. That's naturalization. Very few attorneys and no non-attorneys I know of will consider things in your past that could deny or disqualify you from achieving legal status. We focus on the 5 most common: pending crimes today or prior convictions. And a pending crime could be you were arrested, released, and never went to court, and that was 10 years ago. It's still pending. Multiple illegal entries to the U.S. after 1996. Allegations of misrepresentations or fraud, whether intentional or not. Pending removal proceedings or prior orders of removal, and unlawful presence in the U.S., meaning you entered illegally or you entered legally and overstayed your visa. If you have a path to legal status and you have one of those disqualifiers, most attorneys will tell you they can't help you. Very few attorneys will take the next step to evaluate how to fix that issue in your past. There are 3 general ways to fix your past. Look, there's a lot of waivers, like the I-237A1H, the Form I-601, Form I-601A, or I-212. Each waiver handles a different set of issues. It takes a lot of knowledge and experience to find the best solution to your case, and it typically can't be done at the initial consultation. When we're talking about can we prove a waiver, something significant, like prior misrepresentation, well, we need to get a copy of all the documents, review it to make sure that the waiver is a proper solution for you before we file your case. So evaluate the possibility of a waiver, reopening your prior order of removal through a motion to reopen, or undoing a criminal conviction through post-conviction relief. Although I can't explain why others don't see things as clearly as I do. I don't believe this is a unique or novel way to approach immigration law. It's just the only way I would ever do it. I can only think of 2 reasons. 1, I'm an immigrant. I came to the US as a child, not speaking English, and I moved to Israel as an adult, not speaking Hebrew. In total, I lived 2 times in Chile, 2 times in Israel, 2 times in the US. Whatever your experience as an immigrant, I guarantee you I've lived it. I know where you're coming from, what you want to achieve, and more importantly, why you want it. When my family had the opportunity to file for a green card, because the law changed, we were victims of fraud. We went to a New York attorney who charged us $5,000 in the 80s and did absolutely nothing. I don't want anyone to experience the fear, anger, and embarrassment that we went through. My experience and my family's is what drove me to become an attorney that helps immigrants. It wasn't just my first job after law school. It was my choice, and I could have done anything, but I chose immigration because there is nothing more rewarding to me than helping someone achieve legal status. Saving someone from a DUI conviction, getting them justice after a car accident, getting custody of to see their kids, helping a family buy their first home. I've done all of them, but none of them change a family like getting them their green card, allowing them to work legally, allowing them to visit their family or bring their family here to the United States. It is life-changing, and for me, there's nothing better. Secondly, I live by our core values, and so do we as an organization. We follow the golden rule, to treat others the way we want to be treated. We are good Samaritans. We will put you in a better position than you were before you spoke to us, even if it is only learning your options. 3, we do the right thing, even when no one is looking, because it is the right thing. And 4, we don't take no for an answer. We won't give up on your chance for legal status. Even if you lose faith, we won't. We work together to achieve your immigration goals. At Andres Mejer Law, we are a team that is devoted to helping you achieve your goals. So I can't tell you why other attorneys haven't given you the right advice. I can only tell you that the combination of my immigrant experiences and our core values allow us to do it this way and only this way, because it's the right way, the 953 way, which I wish that New York attorney would have followed for us in the 1980s. With that, we arrived at the end of our first part of this series. I'm pretty sure some of these questions are, or at least were, on your mind at some point. And after seeing this video, I hope it brings you some clarity and takes a few of them out of your way. If you like this video or know someone looking for an immigration attorney and you think this information may be useful to them, please share it with them. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can get notifications when the second part of this video series goes live. If you want us to talk about a particular topic, leave us a comment down below so we can address it. Or if you want us to take a closer look at your case, please reach out to us. We'll talk to you about your particular situation and try to find the best path for your case. And if we can't help you, we won't take your money. As always, be healthy and stay well.